Stay tuned for touchdown.
You know, when a team gets off to a 27-0 lead, it's almost too much too quick, and a team can't have it. Now, Cleveland has been running the ball, moving the ball in the air effectively. If they continue to do this, we've got a ball game left.
Right now, let's go to Brian Gumbel in New York.
Sunday number 6 has been a Sunday of upset and confrontation. Upset for that man, John McKay, coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because of this man, Billy Taylor. For the Giants, he rushed for over 100 yards today, scored 2 touchdowns. The Giants post their first victory of the season. Tampa Bay knocked from the ranks of the unbeaten after 6 weeks. The NFL has no unbeaten teams. In Cleveland, 2 teams battling out for first place, the Steelers and the Browns. Franco Harris having a big afternoon, 70 yards on this play. The Steelers rush into a big early lead. They lead at halftime by 16 points. Hello again, everyone. Brian Gumbel and Mike Adamle welcoming you back to NFL 79. Let's try to get you caught up very quickly on what's happening this Sunday. Kansas City Chiefs, very young, very good ball club. They win their 3rd straight. They beat the Bengals 10-7. Cincinnati still winless.
In the Meadowlands, the New York Giants, it was the first start for quarterback Phil Simms. It didn't matter. He didn't have a very good day, 37 yards. He handed off to Billy Taylor, 144 yards, 2 TDs.
Washington elusive to Philadelphia today, 28-17. That final, Wilbert Montgomery scored 3 touchdowns.
New England over Detroit, 24-17. They're having problems again. It wasn't until a Tom Owen touchdown pass to Don Calhoun that they went ahead.
Sweet Walter Payton, 39 carries, 155 yards. The Bears turned back the Bills and shut them out 7-0.
Atlanta, a big winner over the puzzling Green Bay Packers, 25-7. 3 Tim Mazzetti field goals, the difference in that one.
You think they're puzzling. Figure this one out. The Oilers dropped to 4-2. The Cardinals beat them 24-17. That's an upset.
Quite an offensive showing in the Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, 30-14. That's a score. Terry Bradshaw, 3 touchdown passes. Brian Sipe, 2.
We're not sure what the Broncos and Chargers are doing. 3rd quarter, there's no score. Is that possible?
I don't know. But halftime in Los Angeles, or in New Orleans, 28-7. 2 Wendell Tyler touchdown runs, 2 Pat Hayden touchdown passes.
Jets, Baltimore, Colts seeking their first win out in front 10-3.
And Dallas, Minnesota up in Bloomington, 23-10 at halftime.
And Seattle leading San Francisco right now 14-7. Remember, the 49ers still without a win this year. We've got a second half of football to come. We'll get to it after this commercial break.
Well, hello, Cleveland. As we're back now at Cleveland Stadium. Don Criqui with John Brody ready for the 3rd quarter. The Steelers have come out onto the field. Brian Sipe has done a good job in the blowing wind. Terry Bradshaw's been even better. As we'll take a look at statistically how this game breaks down, at the Steelers in the lead 30-14.
Well, Terry Bradshaw had such an outstanding first half. Everything came so easy for him. At one time, he was 7 for 7, and he'd thrown 3 touchdowns. Now, it's just been real easy for Pittsburgh. Then they had to get back and do some playing toward the end of the first half. He took them down for another 3-pointer and a 16-point lead. I don't really think those statistics are indicative of the difference in the score. I mean, the Browns actually had the ball longer than did Pittsburgh. They scored so quick when they got it, they didn't have it much.
Art's only great. 30-14 is the score. Lyle Alzado getting taped up. Getting cleaned off. They're going to put a new hoof on there. Off track today. A little muddy down on the playing field.
He's been a big addition since he's come over from Denver, Don, and he's had a lot to do with these guys coordinating their defense. Last week he couldn't play, and it hurt him badly, I think. Today he's playing very well, but their defense has been a little suspect.
I guess you go with whatever works. They start using different shoes. This, of course, is a natural grass field. A good part of it natural mud after heavy rains. And, of course, the baseball infield is still down as the Indians just got done. Steelers will be receiving to start the 3rd quarter. And teeing up the ball is Don Cockcroft. The swirling, gusting wind. Temperature must be somewhere in the mid-40s now. The chill factor from this wind brings it below that. So we're ready to go in the 3rd quarter as the Pittsburgh Steelers, after leading 27-0, now have a 30-14 lead. And momentum was with the Browns before Pittsburgh finally scored on a field goal just before the end of the half. Up back takes it. Coming downfield with the ball is Greg Hawthorne, the rookie #1 draft choice. He's a power back out of Baylor, and he gets the ball across the 35-yard line out to about the 39. Tackled by Randy Rich. Now, sir, as we break down the Pittsburgh Steelers on offense, you see the Cleveland Brown defensive unit come out. The quarterback is Bradshaw, wide receivers 82 Stallworth and 86 Jim Smith. Benny Cunningham, 89, is now in a tight end. He's been alternating with Randy Grossman. The setbacks are Sidney Thornton and Franco Harris. They've both been in the end zone today for Pittsburgh. Mike Webster, an all-pro, down over the ball at center. Mullins and Davis Begars, Kolb and Larry Brown the tackles, and here comes Thornton running out hard. He gets out across the 40-yard line. Mike St. Clair, 74, is at left end for the Browns. Mickey Sims and Jerry Shirk the tackles. Lyle Alzado the end. Robert Jackson backs the line in the middle. Matthews and Hall are the outside backers. Bolton and Davis at the corners. Scott and Darden are the safeties as the handoff goes to Franco Harris. On a 2nd down and 5 carry, he gets close, but not enough for the 1st down. They do turn football games around. Himmler is now in the game at defensive tackle for Shirk. 3rd and less than 2 yards for Pittsburgh. Grossman goes in motion. Handoff up the middle, and Franco Harris, who you remember took one the distance on a 3rd and short yardage. Remember, he went 71 yards for a touchdown. Sam Davis blocking well for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Sam Davis has blocked well for a long, long time. He's been their offensive captain. He's their workhorse. Once you stand somebody up at the line of scrimmage, you're doing your job.
You've won the collision.
Decline. 1st down.
Ball against the Cleveland Browns has declined. It's a 1st down in the carry as the ball is advanced down now to the 47-yard line of Cleveland. So the Steelers break the huddle. 1st down and 10. 13:25 to play in the 3rd quarter. Thornton runs hard to the 45-yard line, and he is knocked down by the middle linebacker Robert Jackson. Short gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and a long 8 for the Steelers. 45-yard line of Cleveland. Bradshaw coming out with a conservative offense. He can afford that with a 30-14 lead.
Well, they're doing right now what they thought they could do when they started the ball game. They thought they could trap Cleveland. Their ends come up the field a little bit, and Pittsburgh's been a trapping team since Noel got there, and they've been doing it pretty well.
Bradshaw play fake and looks long. Guns the ball out. Gains in on a 1 hop to John Stallworth. Browns getting back real well in that zone coverage. Matthews, the outside linebacker on the right side, takes a very quick drop.
And you know, Don, Robert Jackson was in the lane very swiftly that time. He's been playing the run much better this week than he did last week against Houston. I think one game really helps a guy get his feet on the ground, and I think at the middle he's played very well. You can see there's quite a congestion in there. Little play action pass. Nobody gets to Terry, but nobody gets open either.
Now the Browns go to extra defensive backs. 3rd down and 8. Bradshaw with a deep drop. Home run ball. Jim Smith going for it. He loses the ball at the 2-yard line. The cornerback, Ron Bolton, was with him stride for stride. They hit the infield, the dirt, and the footing went.
And Bolton felt very fortunate getting away without a touchdown on that or an interference penalty.
Can't tell if Jim Smith is disappointed or he's hurt. Apparently he's injured.
He's hurt.
He's holding his left knee. Jim Smith, the wide receiver, 2nd year, University of Michigan, is down at the 2-yard line where he lost the ball. And that will bring up 4th down. The Steeler punter's out. We'll watch it again here, John.
He's got good time. Offensive line giving him plenty of protection all day long. Nobody's really come close to Terry. He throws the ball pretty well. I think Smith will come up with 2 out of 3 of those.
Right now, Jim Smith is down, though. He is being attended to. He's been playing hurt. He's had a hamstring injury.
I think that one was, I think he got the wind knocked out of him.
That's good. He's okay. He might still right in the football. Now they're going to take him out for a play. Webster is the punt snapper. There's the deep man. Ozzie Newsome is back to return punts now for the Cleveland Browns. Ball. He only got part of that one. It goes out of bounds at the 30, and so the Browns come out with relatively good field position. After this commercial, we'll be switching to San Diego and Denver for an update on that very close football game in the AFC West. At the moment, it is Denver 7, San Diego nothing. There's a timeout in the field here at Cleveland with the Steelers in the lead, 30-14. They're airing out the laundry here in Cleveland. The Browns fans waving the Browns bags, and the Steeler fans with the terrible towels. You got it all going here. Browns have the ball for the first time in the 3rd quarter. Brian Sight drops to throw. Deep drop. He's got a man. but he zings it as Calvin Hill ran into one of the officials.
You bet he did. The official was looking at the line play. He got himself fixated to where he couldn't get out of the way of Calvin. Effectively busted up the pattern.
Ran into the umpire, Pat Harder.
That was a good old fullback. He has to get a little action every week.
Tell you, that umpire, he's got to stand in tall against right in the middle of that defense. Referee can play off. It's all be in front of him. It's second down and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. Ball at the Brown 30-yard line of sight. Gives off on the run, and Pruitt doesn't get much at all. The Steeler defense shoots the gap. Jack Ham, who is projected as a man soon to go, or one day to go, to Canton, Ohio in the Hall of Fame. He's that good. Made the stop at the left linebacker. Gary Dunn, number 67, was also on the stop. Looking at the Steelers on defense, they've been aligning different people. Zach Valentine is now starting the third quarter at outside linebacker. They've got Dennis Winston also in the game. Leo Miller comes in the Cleveland backfield. Ricky Features in as a wide receiver. Sight takes a drop, looks, he lets her loop. Knocked down by Dennis Winston. He was beaten earlier, you remember, by Calvin Hill. This time Winston is on the play.
Yeah, but he moved into the middle where he's very comfortable. He and Lambert were playing inside middle linebackers, both of them at the same time. And he took a fine angle. The ball was a little bit underthrown, and that's all Winston needed.
So Johnny Evans is in to punt. I don't think we'll see him throw the ball as he did the first time when he had that nice completion to keep a Browns drive alive. Evans, a good throwing punter because he was a good throwing quarterback at North Carolina State.
This is the throw that could have kept the drive alive, would have put them back on the move. They moved very effectively in the first half. Just a poorly thrown ball, really. Kept from getting a first down.
There's the snap. Ball hit end over end, hit fairly deep. T-Bell loses the football and falls on it. Theo Bell loses. I tell you, the wind comes into this booth. Just took John Brody's hat and scorecard and everything. Everything went adios. 11:38 left to play. Third quarter. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers 30, the Cleveland Browns 14. We'll be back in a moment. Pittsburgh Steelers come out. The crowd starts up here at Cleveland. 80,000 on hand at Cleveland Stadium. Steelers leading the game 30-14. Bradshaw, most valuable player in the league last year in most polls, gives off to Thornton, and Sidney Thornton, who comes into the game averaging 5.6 yards a rush, is shut down quickly by the Cleveland defense. Mickey Sims, number 78, was on the stop.
Cleveland's now tightening up a little bit, Don. They've been very tough against the run in the past 2 or 3 series.
Joining us in the booth is one of NBC's new football commentators, Mike Lucci, the former All-Pro middle linebacker for the Detroit Lions.
I helped him.
You get him some votes.
Every time he was going a little bad, I threw him a couple.
Second down and 8. Running with the ball is Franco Harris. He gets it out to the 40-yard line. And Franco Harris is knocked down. Charlie Hall, 59, and Clay Matthews, 57. The outside backers for the Browns were on the stop. Franco Harris got 71 of those in one fell swoop. Touchdown.
Okay, just a straight-ahead block. They've got a combination between Shirk and Alzado. That's their responsibility. Did it very well.
Third down and 3. Here's a pitch back to Franco Harris, who has his first 100-yard game of this season. But he has had many. In fact, he's going to equal O.J. Simpson and Jim Brown as the only back to get 8,000 yards in his first 8 years in the National Football League. Lyle Alzado and Tom Darden were on the stop. It's only his 31st 100-yard game. Boy, he's listed at 6'2", 225. But if he isn't 6'4", 235, he's not a pound.
Our producer, Larry Cirillo, found out yesterday he got the vote. Lucky he could get out here.
Franco ran into him inadvertently in the end zone during a Steeler workout. And right now it is dark in Cleveland. Ominous skies overhead. Gusting winds continue as the Steelers break the huddle under the lights. 10-10 left to play in the third quarter. Bradshaw steps up on first down. Harris goes wide, turns the corner, and he's knocked down to the 48-yard line. He got 5. Oliver Davis, not too big, made the play coming up from the corner, number 21. Oliver Davis and Ron Bolton at the corners, Clarence Scott and Tom Darden the safeties. Hall, Jackson, and Matthews back the line for Cleveland. Be second down and 5 now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ball at their 47-yard line. Sidney Thornton turns the corner, turns upfield. He's not done yet. He is a truck, this man, from northeast Louisiana, and Thornton crashes down inside the 25-yard line, and the Steelers are challenging again.
Well, as we watched earlier, we saw he picked up 58 yards on 13 carries. Pretty fair day. He's been just about par for him. He's been doing a lot for this team, coming up with big plays when they need it most. This time he picks up 27 yards when it looks like the defense has stopped the play dead.
Mike Webster makes his first block and isn't done yet. He's going to stay right with it.
Well, Mike is a very active guy, and when your center is as active as Mike is, it allows you to do a lot of things offensively that sometimes you can't do. He's got good size, but real good agility. Made a fine play there.
Mike can pump that iron. They've got 3 guys in the Steelers, Kolb and Webster.
Here he goes.
Here goes Franco Harris into the end zone. So Franco Harris takes it into the end zone for yet another Pittsburgh touchdown, and it's 36-14 Steelers.
What Pittsburgh is known most for, their ability to trap right at the heart of the defense, right over the tackles. When Harris broke the line of scrimmage, he was in the end zone. I mean, everything was cleaned out. There was nothing left. Excellent trap block by Davis and the center Webster. When Franco gets out there, it's all over, folks.
Franco Harris with his first 100-yard day of the season. He might have his first 200-yard day before this one's over. Barr tries the extra point. It's good. Let's watch Franco tear it up from ground level.
It's the second play of the day that has gone so cleanly, so smooth. You can see Sam Davis comes out, just handles the defensive tackle before he can come in to close the play. Harris gets into the secondary, and the case is closed.
Touchdown Steelers into the end zone. We're going to have more. It is 37-14. The Steelers leading the Browns.
Honey, how long are you going to be in there?
In a minute. These bathroom walls really needed help. So I got new flare squares. Just put them in water and put them up.
Honey?
Just finishing up. Flare squares are easy to handle, even in hard places.
We're back and ready to play football once again at Cleveland. The Steelers ready to kick it off. They lead the game now, 37-14. Here is the kick downfield to Dino Hall of the Browns. He's to the 20, 25. He's to the 30. And little Dino Hall is finally swept under by a wave of those big Steelers at about the 33-yard line. Randy Grossman was down along with Valentine. So the Steelers stack up in touchdowns this year. They've been in the end zone 18 times.
Pretty good balance, but you notice their passing stats are just getting a little higher and a little higher and a little higher. When they need to, Terry will get it done.
There's a tremendous football game going on at Mile High Stadium, Denver, Colorado. We'll be updating that game with a report very shortly. And we may be picking up some of the coverage for you. As right now, it is 1st and 10, Cleveland Browns. 8:13 to play third quarter. Willis Adams is in the game as a wide receiver. Swing pass goes to Adams. He can run. Adams gets out to the 38-yard line, close to 5 yards. The starting runners for the Steelers, John, Harris and Thornton, have 219 yards between them.
You can credit a lot of that to the backs, but a lot of it to the guards, because they were given a break at the point of attack right at the line of scrimmage, and that's due for about 130 of it.
The Browns break the huddle. A 2nd down and 5 coming up now for Cleveland at the Browns' 38-yard line. Pruitt turns upfield. Mike Pruitt runs ahead for a 1st down and gets the ball to the 47-yard line. Lambert knocked him down. Jack Lambert, the middle linebacker. Mike Pruitt's getting a lot of work here today for the Cleveland Browns. Burness Joe Green on the tackles. L.C. Greenwood, defensive end, along with Dwight White. Sipe swings it out. Here's Pruitt, 230 pounds. Boy, I tell you, some big people hitting head-on out there. Whew. Show cars in those deals. There's no way to go but headlong into each other.
Now, those look like very simple patterns, but actually, Pruitt ran a very nice pattern. He stayed away, gave Sipe a good target to hit. Sipe looked down the field long enough so that he didn't tip off where he was coming with the ball. It made it a tough reaction for the linebackers to come back and make the play. Picked up 6, and boy, did they make the play.
Second down and 2. Cleveland Browns on the Pittsburgh side of the field now. Sipe takes a drop. Wind is swirling. Brian Sipe lost it. A man is open. The ball is caught down to the 20-yard line. Reggie Rucker, who caught one earlier for a touchdown, brings the Browns all the way down to the 20-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That was an excellent throw and an excellent adjustment by Rucker. I mean, when he got by Thomas, he was looking for the ball right now. And it was a double coverage. They short and longed him, and he just beat the coverage. Brian threw it at the right time and put it in the right place.
I'm not sure what short and long of him is, but it worked.
Short and long means one goes up and gets him and the other stays back, fella. Except he couldn't get over there fast enough.
He got shorted a little bit. Now first down Browns as Sipe looks into the end zone. Here's a rush. He throws. He's got a man open. A diving catch, and they lose the ball. Ozzie Newsome had it and lost it when he hit the dirt.
Boy, they have put a real responsibility, Don, on Donnie Shell all day long.
He comes right up on that tight end.
And he's taking him all over the field. And he figures, hey, I better get him right now, get what I can, because a little later it's going to be tough. And he's been following him all over the football field very effectively.
Once again, we look. Ground level as you see Newsome grab it. Now, this is an earlier one to Rucker. This one went for the first down to 20. So now the ball is at the 20. It's going to be second down. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is WIC-TV, your new spirit station in Pittsburgh.
Sipe lofts it into the end zone. Rucker's going for it. Too much on the ball. It'll be third down and 10 for Cleveland.
You know what? The defense for Pittsburgh, those cornerbacks have been put in a bind. They've forced them to play man-to-man all over the field, trying to give their linebackers a little more help. And in doing so, it really puts a burden on both Blunt and Thomas. So far, they've been up to it.
They have. They've played good football. As blitz comes, those corners are in single coverage.
Well, not even the blitz so much, Don, as it is they're trying to keep their safeties in to help their linebackers because they've been picking on the linebackers. Winston's playing a position he's not too familiar with, and they're going to him when they can. And this is their way of handling it.
You see, it is third down and 10 now for the Cleveland Browns. Sipe with a drop, 4-man rush from the Steelers. He swings, he hits Logan, and Dave Logan is down inside the 15. It'll be well short of a first down, and it'll bring up fourth down. Donnie Shell playing up tight. Watch him cover Newsome.
Again, he's got a tough job to do. He makes a fine play on Newsome, pushes him to the outside, and then recovers to come up and make the tackle on Logan.
Shell is one of those real finds. Free agent that makes all pro. That was Dave Logan's first catch of the day. Fourth down and about 3. Almost 4 for the Cleveland Browns. They're inside the Pittsburgh 15-yard line. Sipe throws. He's got Calvin Hill open. He'll go into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Big play. Sipe standing in against a big rush, and Calvin Hill was not picked up coming out of the backfield.
Well, it was a blitz. Calvin Hill beat it. He got out. There was nobody on him. When he did so, Sipe just had to lay the ball over to him, as he did. I don't know if there was a man responsible for him, but my gut reaction is that they sent more men than they thought they could pick up at the quarterback. As a result, he's running all alone for 6.
Here's Calvin Hill turning up the sideline, and into the end zone he goes. So now Don Cockcroft will try the point after. Dan Rutigliano now sees his team put up its 3rd touchdown of the game. Good hold by Dave Logan on a high snap. Cockcroft's kick is up and through, but there are 2 penalty markers down. The attendance over 81,000 for this game. It's the biggest ball yard in the NFL, and they fill it a lot of weeks, always, when the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town.
Point after touchdown was complete. 12 men on the defense will carry over to the goal, to the kickoff. 5 yards on the kickoff.
Normally they refer to the 12th man. Brian Seipjohn has now completed 15 of 28 for 213 yards and 3 touchdowns, according to Joe Costanza, who keeps the numbers for us, and very well.
Yeah, normally that's enough to get you a win. Now he only needs 17 more points, and that may not do it.
Here's the high spinning kickoff by Cockcroft. Moving up on the ball is Anderson. He's at his 10-yard line. Turns to the outside, and the blockers for him. Anderson gets out across the 30, out to the 33-yard line. They talk about the players getting bigger, but if there's anything that stands out, you notice more and more, John, is the speed in this game. Boy, it's just like a track meet, these kickoff returns.
And when you're talking about speed, you talk about Greg Hawthorne, the kid from Baylor. He's in the ball game now. We haven't seen him carry the ball very much. I think you'll see him put his hands on it and do something.
Cliff Stout, the backup quarterback for Youngstown State and Kruzek. Stout just keeps the chart. He can play, though. Broke all of Jaworski's records. Hawthorne is in the game, 225 pounds. He comes out of the block like a sprinter. Number 27 in the Steeler backfield. Frank goes with him. They go to Hawthorne. See what he can do. Takes a couple of shots. Advances the ball out to the 35-yard line to the 36 they're going to give him. And the clock runs. 4 minutes and 14 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Steelers 37, Cleveland 21. 81,260 is the official attendance. 15,000 here from Pittsburgh. Steeler fans will go out into the night, won't they, John? We'll play that music at 4 o'clock in the morning. Bradshaw cocks his arm, just gets rid of it. Ball was tipped. Cleveland had a play on it. Goes as an incompletion. Shirk was on Bradshaw.
And I'll tell you what, Clay Matthews was all over Hawthorne. Yeah. Terry would like to have gone to him, but he couldn't beat the linebacker. Jerry Shirk having a fine year. Teaming up with Lyle Alzado on the right side. They play a little game. He finally does get to Terry, and Terry can't find anybody open.
We've not had a sack in the game yet. Clinton Burrell now comes in the game along with Ricky Jones as they pull the middle backer and the outside back on the left side. Jackson and Hall come out. Browns with 6 defensive backs on a 3rd down and 8 play. Bradshaw just checked off. He went to another play at the line of scrimmage. He throws. Bell dives. Did he get the ball?
I think he got the ball, but he went out of bounds.
So it's an incomplete pass. And the Steelers now will punt the ball as Newsom drops back for the Cleveland Browns with 3:39 left to play in the third quarter. Newsom standing back inside his 25-yard line. Colquitt will hit the ball somewhere around the 28. There's Ozzie Newsom awaiting the punt by number 5, Craig Colquitt. A knuckleball downfield and takes a hop back up towards the Steelers. They down it at the 33, 32. So the big fight on October 20th on NBC Sports World. Brian Sipe drops, cocks his arm, lets it rip long. Newsom is there. Ozzie Newsom has the football, and he's up to the 30-yard line. So the Browns start to mount another challenge, John.
That's an unbelievable throw. I don't even think he should have thrown the ball because there were 4 people sitting in the area ready to break it up or intercept it. It was thrown so perfectly, it just kind of hit Newsom right on the dead run. Look at this. Lambert is back in a great drop. Donnie Shell comes over. Wagner comes over and almost picked it off. It's a big play. It's the kind of play Cleveland needs to get back in this ball game.
So now the Browns fans have something more to cheer about. Their team down 37-21. First down and 10 Cleveland. 30-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hand off to Pruitt. And hit from behind. Pruitt is inside the 25-yard line. John Banaszak hit him. It drove him ahead a couple of yards.
And here's another problem. Dennis Winston is going off the field, which necessitates a replacement in an area where they can least afford it.
Well, they're going to go with a rookie. Tom Graves comes in the game, number 50, as Sipe counsels his team in the offensive huddle of the Cleveland Browns. Second down and 5 is coming up for Cleveland. Rucker is wide to the left. Blunt right up on him. At the top of your screen, Dave Logan. With a linebacker on him, now he moves out wider and goes one-on-one with J.T. Thomas. They go to the run. And the carry is down inside the 25-yard line. Calvin Hill got it to about the 23. Gary Dunn knocked him down. The third down and about 2 yards to go for the first down, John.
Very big drive. They now have enough time to where they can run it or throw it. They put themselves in a position where they have to get it in on this drive. Even 3 points puts them within 2 touchdowns. They've got more than a quarter to go.
And the way touchdowns have gone up on the board in this game, there could be a lot more. 1:25 left to play in the third quarter. Third down and 3 for Cleveland. Big play inside the Steeler 25. Calvin Hill did not get there, and so the Browns have to go to the fourth down play. They will go from scrimmage on fourth down. There was actually a little loss on the play. Ball will be spotted about the 23. It's going to be 4th and 3.
You notice Jack Ham was in on the tackle.
Yes. Logan is wide to the left. Setbacks are Pruitt and Hill. 4th down and 3 for Cleveland. Big play for the Browns. Sipe rolls out. He runs. Oh, he takes a hard shot. He got down to where he had to go, the 20. Now to see where they spot the ball.
I think well, it's really close.
Steelers think they stopped him, but we don't know till we see the chains come out and the measurement made. He really was stood up hard on a driving tackle. Wagner hit him, and Graves, number 50, also got him.
He slipped just a little bit coming out. He tried to make a move up a little quicker, and it just cost him the 6 inches he was short.
So the Steelers, fists raised in the air, go off the field. The defense holding on 4th down, and Pittsburgh takes over the ball. 32 seconds left to play now in the third quarter.
Take another look at it, Don. You see, he just kind of slipped when he tried to cut upfield.
You don't want
6 inches short.
You don't want your quarterback taking those shots on the shoulder. Something's got to give. It's usually the quarterback. First and 10, Pittsburgh. Bradshaw takes a look and goes to Franco Harris. He's tearing it up today. And Harris runs the ball out across the 25-yard line before Nicky Sims knocks him down. Next Sunday, there's an outstanding lineup of exciting NFL action on NBC. First at 12:30 Eastern Time, NFL 79, with Bryant Gumbel and Mike Adamle, and a look at Wild West football, Canadian style. Then most of the country will see the big interconference matchup between the Patriots and the Bears. Other key games include Buffalo at Miami, the Seahawks and the explosive San Diego Chargers, Denver versus Kansas City, a team that's now 4-2 after a win today. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. And now the third quarter comes to an end here at Cleveland with the Steelers in possession of the ball and a 37-21 lead. We'll be back in a moment.
From the people who brought you the workmate comes the incredible bench top. You can throw that on a table or clamp it to a chair or use it on the roof or almost anywhere. It goes up in the attic or the basement down below. There's almost no place the bench top won't go. Black & Decker's bench top workmate, portable work center and vast. It turns the whole world into a workshop.
I think a lot of people don't realize.
Eye before the wind, harnessed to a wildcat, leaving the rest of the world behind. So you go for it, making the most of now, from the life you live to the beer you drink. And since 1849, the beer that makes the most out of life is Schlitz.
When you're making it beer, make it this one here. Schlitz makes it great.
Go for it.
Franco Harris having a big day, and the U.S. Olympians getting set for a big summer. 1980 Moscow. We're going to give you that Olympic address again. We'll give you a chance to write it down. Here is Bradshaw. Quick screen on the flat goes to Jim Smith. Wide receiver screen. He gets ahead to about the 29-yard line. He'll be short of a first down on a 2nd and 4 play. Here's that address again. You can send your tax-deductible contribution to help our American Olympic athletes to U.S. Olympics, Post Office Box 1980T, Cathedral Station, Boston, Massachusetts, 02118. Franco Harris, as we mentioned, has his 31st 100-yard game. O.J. Simpson in his career had 42 so far. Jim Brown, the all-time leader. Played 9 years and had 58. 3rd and 1. Up the middle and again. They break it open. Rocky Blyer, the former Notre Dame captain. He's not supposed to be fast, but he just made the Cleveland Browns behind him. That was like a dog chasing a car. That's about as much chance they had of catching Rocky.
Well, once he got by, you see, a short yardage situation, you've got everybody committed to filling a hole. They put a break for the 3rd time today right in the middle of the defense. Once you do that, the back is long gone. Grossman coming over, there's nobody in pursuit. Once you break the line of scrimmage, you've gone. Couldn't come at a better time for Rocky. He's having a little trouble getting back in the lineup because Sidney Thornton is playing so well.
Got a pretty good rushing average today, doesn't he?
He's got a pretty good rushing average every day.
Rocky Blyer, the longest run from scrimmage in his pro career. And the Steelers have yet another touchdown. With 14:05 to play, they lead 43-21. Extra point is up and good by Matt Barr. So the Rock busted one loose for the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's a more popular guy on the team. And Rocky says, hey, how about all that? Longest rush of his career, and Rocky Blyer takes it into the end zone, and we'll be back at Cleveland Stadium with more of this Pittsburgh 44-21 lead at the moment. This is Don Criqui with John Brody, and the kickoff is returned by Dino Hall. Now for a report in that exciting game in Denver between the Chargers and the Broncos, here's Sam Nover. Now you in Cleveland and you in Pittsburgh, we're going to stay right here at Mile High. They're at Mile High Stadium, part of our network. We're at Cleveland Stadium when last we looked, and it is 44-21. Rocky Blyer went the distance from 70 yards out, longest run of his career. Ryan Sipe now takes a look, dumps it off. Pruitt has the ball, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 37-yard line, stopping the clock with 13:48 to play. Well, we've got 65 points up so far, John. How many more do we get?
Well, there's no telling. Right now, every time Pittsburgh gets the ball, something good has happened for them. They've been able to break big plays. How many times have you ever seen a football team run from the line of scrimmage 70 and 71 yards? I've been watching Pittsburgh a long time. I have not seen them run one play that far. And they've got 2 of those today. Their offensive linemen have to be credited. They've just knocked some holes in there that's given the backs an opportunity to get out and go.
Steelers say they've only had one good performance this season when they blew away Houston 38-7. Well, they've had another one today. Sipe takes a look, fires hard over the middle, and Ozzie Newsome, who will catch it in the crowd, takes it at the 49-yard line. Cutting back, he's knocked down at about the 48. It'll be a first down for the Cleveland Browns. Donnie Shell finally knocked him down. Pittsburgh has over 300 yards rushing, John, and they're averaging a carry. This is unbelievable. 15.3 yards. That will get you there.
How sweet it is. The quarterback can be brilliant. You know, Cleveland has had a very good day offensively. It's just they can't keep pace.
Right. Usually in pretty good shape. You just get 21 up. A lot of time to go.
Against Pittsburgh.
They got 21 up and they're not even in it. Sipe takes a look. Lost it long. Newsom is there. Intercepted. Mike Wagner picks it off. The Steelers' zone coverage closed in on the receiver, Ozzie Newsome, and Mike Wagner picks it off as again Brian Sipe is intercepted for the 3rd time.
You remember when Ozzie Newsome went right down the seam a little earlier on the drive before? We mentioned that's a very tough pass to hit, and you're not going to fool Mike Wagner more than once in a day. He's already got his one charted up, and Wagner's just been baiting him, hoping this play will come back. He's got the ball all the way. Take a look.
Yep, he sure does. So Mike Wagner takes the ball, the free safety, back there playing center field on the long pass yardage play, picks it off. And now the Steelers come out of the huddle, and they're going to be running the ball right at the Cleveland Browns. Looking to run the clock. Nate Hawthorne carries the ball and gets out across the 20 and out close to the 28-yard line. Updating some of the other scores around the league as Hawthorne carries. Denver is leading San Diego in the 4th quarter, a big game in the AFC West. L.A. continues to lead the Saints at New Orleans 28-10. Now the Jets have scored, but Baltimore still holding on to a 10-6 lead as the Baltimore Colts look for their first win of this season. Dallas up by 10 over the Vikings, fourth quarter, Bloomington, Minnesota. Seattle over the winless 49ers, 21-10 at San Francisco.
Been a long year, honey.
It's tough. Hand off to Hawthorne. He goes right at the Browns defense. He does not go down easily. He runs the ball right into the heart of the Cleveland defense, gets the ball ahead, and advances it close to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 5 yards on the play.
You're watching a running back, Greg Hawthorne, that you may see an awful lot of in the future at Pittsburgh. #1 draft choice. Big, 220 pounds, lots of speed, and they really just haven't had an opportunity to insert him in the lineup.
Big backs are so fast. You don't need the breakaway scat backs when you got 230-pounders who could do that 100 inside of 10 seconds. Here's Hawthorne. Had it and lost it. Lawrence Johnson wants to fool everybody like he's got an interception, but he got it on the one hop.
Well, you know, Tom Darden thought he was going to pick the ball off. However, he came up there and fell down, and Hawthorne almost picked it and ran off. There probably is a lot of speculation right now. You notice that Bradshaw is in the ball game. They've got a 23-point lead. They've got 12 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. It's the philosophy of Chuck Noll. Terry, you start the ball game and you finish it. I agree with it because you can get a lot of conversation going if you put another quarterback in. He starts to have a good day. The first time you're a little off, they start yelling for him, and it really, in my opinion, fouls up the whole routine.
Yeah, the Steelers put up their points. Here is a blocked ball. Grossman was near to it. St. Clair appeared to tip it. Mike St. Clair, the left end, number 74. That's how the Steeler offense has scored on the top line, how their defense has given up points in the fourth quarter. You don't beat Pittsburgh. Now their fourth quarter statistics through this game are 59-7 as they have outscored the Browns 7-0. First quarter was a big one for Pittsburgh, 21-0. Dino Hall is back now to return the punt. Colquitt in the game for the Steelers. Hits it well downfield. Dino takes it at his 20. Looks for some help. Goes to the outside, gets a couple of blocks, and Dino Hall's across the 40. He is across the 50. Look at this guy go. He's out inside the 35-yard line.
They got him for tripping. Colquitt, it's the only way he could stop him, and Burl Toner is right on it.
Penalty marker down. There's signals against, you're right, the Steelers. Get him any way you can. But that one is illegal. Punt was 45 yards. The return was 57. So Dino Hall, who's replacing a great injured kick returner, Keith Wright, does a big job, and here's some more penalty yardage tacked on.
He's almost broken 3 or 4 today, and he's had an awful lot of action.
Tripping the runner. 10 yards, tack on, first down.
Let's watch Dino on the ISO.
Okay, we mentioned several times he's come close to breaking them, and when a team's scoring 44 points, you're going to get a lot of special teamwork. Here he gets out around the wedge. It formed for him. You see, he tries to cut to the inside of Colquitt. When he did, he got tripped.
Dino Hall does a good job. Sight throws to the end zone. We almost had a reception, then we almost had an interception. We had a loud out, incomplete, as he went to go to Calvin Hill again. We'll watch the trip again. You'll see Colquitt, the punter, come in and get him with a leg.
All right, we mentioned the wedge. It just set up perfectly. You see all those fellows over there didn't even have anybody to block by the time he got around it. As he goes down the lane, Colquitt's in a good position, playing him all the way. As he cuts inside, he just sticks his leg out. It's about the only play he had. He'll take the 10.
You can wrap him as best you can anyway, but you can't trip him. Anderson a little shaken up on the play for the Steelers. Now the Browns are down close, second down and 10. Sight takes a look. He lost it in, and down it's incomplete. Swinging out and downfield was Reggie Rucker with 11:35 left to play in the game. So right now, it will be third down and 10 coming up for Cleveland. Forced to pass because of the disparity in this score. The Browns have come up with a lot of third and long yardage plays. Greenwood jumped in early, so Sipe gets a free one. He lost it into the end zone. Logan goes up. J.T. Thomas goes up. And it's an incomplete pass.
At least it'll be 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 10. You can see LC tried to get a little jump. Usually the quarterback gets into some sort of rut. By this time in the ball game, those defensive linemen all know what it is. That time he jumped just a little early.
Since the Steelers got cooking in 1972, there is Matt Barr. Doesn't have much age on him yet, does he?
You get it quick kicking.
3rd down and 5 coming up for the Cleveland Browns. Sipe stands in, looks it up in the air. Incomplete. Dennis Winston was covering Calvin Hill on the play. So it's an incomplete pass. And it brings up another 4th down. It'll be 4th down and 5 now, as the Cleveland Browns work hard to get it back into the end zone.
As many points as Pittsburgh has put on the board today, 44. Cleveland has let 3 scoring opportunities fail. One time when they were on the 2-yard line, then they missed a field goal. The last time on 4th and 3, they weren't able to keep their drive alive, and now they've got it down here again. So they haven't had any problem moving it, just putting some points on the board.
Get an idea how good this AFC Central Division is against the rest of the league starting today's play. They were 9-1, AFC Central team. Sipe fires in the flat. Oh, Calvin Hill had it and lost it, and the 4th down play comes up short. And so on 4th down, the Steelers hold and take over the ball, leading the game 44-21 with 11:19 left to play. So we'll be returning to Cleveland Stadium in a moment with the Steelers en route to their 5th win of the year, the way it stands at this point. Then we get in the game. Steelers 44, the Browns 21. And Pittsburgh has the ball 1st and 10 at the Steeler 18-yard line. Hawthorne runs, free football. It does draw a crowd. Who's got it? Well, Lawrence Johnson thinks that Cleveland does.
He put in a claim anyway.
Got a lot of good NBC people bringing you this game. We have 6 cameras here today, 3 replay machines, and a lot of other equipment. And one of the many fine NBC technicians responsible for this is electronic maintenance man Al Buckner. So to Al and everybody on the NBC crew, our producer Larry Cirillo, our director Ted Nathanson, thank you once again.
And here we go again. Hawthorne trying to get through on a trap play. He does break it at the line of scrimmage. Alzado gets his hand on the ball. As he does so, he jams it loose, and Cleveland's got a turnover.
The lights are on. The temperature has dropped here at Cleveland. Gusting winds as Sipe looks into the end zone. 1st down throw. Logan, touchdown Browns. We're not done yet. 11:03 to play.
They're not done yet. Every time people want to quit, Sipe brings them back with some sort of a throw. 27-44.
71 points on the board. The Browns. Steelers had only given up 71 in the previous 5 games.
All right, here goes Sipe. Good, excellent protection. Sipe didn't have this kind of protection last week against Houston. And Logan made a fine move down the field. Look at Winston. He can't get on him. Logan cuts underneath Mel Blount. He's kind of lost once he lets him get to him that quickly. As he does so, Sipe puts it right where it had to be thrown.
San Ratigliano calls Logan a Gary Collins with speed. The extra point is up and good. So it is a big touchdown day here in Cleveland, and we've got a long way to go. 11:03 left to play. Pittsburgh leading 44-28. The Pittsburgh Steelers Bradshaw thrown into the end zone 3 times. Onside kick. It touched the Steeler, and the Browns have the ball.
Tell you, Don, you can't get over. There's still almost 11 minutes of play left.
Ricky Jones recovered. So we're not done yet. Jim Smith apparently touched the ball. And the ball will be at the 45-yard line. Here it is. Cockcroft gets a little swipe. And coming up with a football for the Cleveland Browns.
Ricky Jones.
That's actually Ricky Jones, who grabbed it on the run on the one hop. It hit a Cleveland up back. free ball then. Sipe takes a look. Home run ball. Rucker's out there, and he is incomplete at the 5-yard line.
Woo!
And there's a penalty marker down in the Pittsburgh secondary.
Well, let me tell you, Brian Sipe just got rid of that ball before the lights went out. Dwight White was flying after him. There's a penalty on the play right in the middle of the field.
Browns don't look too happy about it. Here's the call.
Double foul. Hold 63 offense. Holding 31 defense. Play goes over.
We shall do it again.
Well, Donnie Shell, we mentioned he's been on him all day long on Ozzie Newsome. You get in the middle of the field and it's a one-on-one situation. Now he goes with the play, but he was holding on to him. I guess it was ruled earlier before we could see it.
Brian Sipe needs just 4 more yards, John, for 300-yard day passing. He also needs 17 points.
Right?
So it'll be first down and 10 now for the Cleveland Browns. The ball at their 45-yard line. Rucker comes wide to the right. Logan's on the left flank. You see the lights on at Cleveland Stadium with over 81,000 in attendance for one of the most celebrated rivalries in the NFL. The Browns. Brian Sipe took the hard hit from Dwight White. Ozzie Newsome with the intended receiver. This wind has blown a lot of things on the field. It's amazing how well they've thrown in the gusty
wind. You can just see Sipe is rather disappointed because that screen was pretty well set up. It's a timing situation with the tackle. You have to get a little bit more of the defensive end than Deacon got that time. And
still a lot of time left with a 44-28 score on the board. Steelers in the lead. 10:44 to play. Sipe takes a drop, takes a look, lets her go. Logan has the football. First down, Browns at the 31-yard line. This thing is something else.
Cleveland forgot to quit. How many times did they come back at home? In the last 10 games, it must have been 3 or 4. Now, if they come back today, it's a miracle, and they're playing the best defense in the National Football League. But they are moving the ball on it. Okay, Dave Logan, we saw him just a little bit earlier catch a touchdown pass, get him within 16 points. Runs the same pattern, only pulls it up in there, well thrown, right at the spot of the move. Picks up a first.
Logan would be your basic athlete, drafted by the NBA, by the Major League Baseball, as well as by the Browns. Here's a throw, Logan, what a catch, down to the 13-yard line. And we've still got a lot of time left, 9:50 to play.
All right, let me tell you something, Don. These balls are pretty easy to complete. You can see the lanes the Sipe has to throw in. It's because Lauren Tave, Robin Cole, the linebackers are hurting. It causes rookies to play linebacker. Tom Graves may be an outstanding football player later in his career, but he's still young. It's very difficult for him to start cutting off patterns.
So Logan has been the guy down the stretch, and Sipe has been there to him. So it is first and 10, Cleveland Browns, 13-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. 9:15 to play. Sipe looks, lofts it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland! Dave Logan! Unbelievable, huh? I'm loving all this. This is great.
There's still 9 minutes and 10 seconds left, and all the mo has gone toward Cleveland. So I think Logan only caught 3 balls in a row right there on that drive. That last one was a beauty.
I've never seen anything like this.
Well, this is like the old days of the AFL, you know. Whoever gets the ball last wins.
Last at bat, just like a highlight reel.
351 yards for Sipe so far today. There's still 10 minutes left to play. His team is 10 down, trying to make it 9.
Cockcroft knocks it through. Boy, you think back when the Browns didn't score, when they had a first and goal at the 2, and then they missed the short field goal. If they had those 10, we'd really have something.
Yeah, you think back, that's history, though.
That's right.
You think ahead, see what you can do now.
Guess we've all got 20/20 hindsight. The Browns are up and cheering their players. Brian Sipe has thrown the ball 41 times. He has completed 22 for 351 yards and 5 touchdowns. 9:10 left to play, so we've got a long way to go. Beautifully thrown ball and a great move by Logan to take it.
These guys will not buy that they're beat, huh? Okay, Sipe makes an excellent throw. The only place it can be caught. Logan plays the ball all the way. Never really gave Mel Blount a chance to know when it was going to be thrown, and that was the secret to the touchdown.
Boy, this is something. If you joined us late, we've got a show going on at Cleveland. The Pittsburgh Steelers and their awesome defense and the Cleveland Browns moving through them. The Steelers holding to a lead at this point, but it has not been easy as the Browns keep rallying back in the game. 44-35.
With 9+ to go.
Go to the triple-digit scoreboard. This time, kickoff downfield. Anderson loses the handle. He's got a problem right now as the Browns get him. Willis Adams throws him down inside the 10-yard line. 9:01 left to play. This is great. Willis Adams, and there's penalty markers also down on the play. What a game. Against the Steelers, the play goes. Cliff against Pittsburgh. That will set them back still more.
They have got to get it out of this hole. It'll be interesting to see. This is the third time that it looked like Pittsburgh had a comfortable lead. You can see Chuck Noll. He's a little concerned. Terry's got to rally him again. It's the toughest thing in football to do. Once you think you've won a ball game, the other team comes back. Now you've got to get your group reorganized.
Look at Chuck Noll, boy. He is unhappy about this turn of events. This awesome Steeler defense that has taken this team to 3 world championships has been riddled by the passing of Brian Sipe. And now Bradshaw, who's had an even more effective day than those statistics would indicate. Hands off, and the Browns close it down. I tell you, Cleveland is playing football right now.
You think the offense scoring touchdowns doesn't pump the defense up? They seem to be playing better right at this moment than they have all throughout the game. This is Robert Jackson filling the hole. You noticed a few times earlier, they made big gainers on that little trap play. That time he was in it.
Well, the Bunch just punched him on that one. Clock running, 8:29 left to play. Browns trail by 9. Second down and 9 for the Steelers, way down in their own area of the field at the 6. Handoff. Alzado puts a smashing tackle on. And also on the stop was the middle linebacker Jackson and Dimmler, 92. That's how Cleveland breaks down offensively and defensively, scoring and permitting points throughout the 4 quarters of play coming into this game.
Okay, here we go. Another shot, just like the halfback looks at it. That hole closed fast.
Now Franco Harris is in the game. Here's a pitch back to Harris. On a 3rd down carry, he puts his head down, and it looks like Franco Harris might have the first down. He had to get the ball to the 16-yard line.
He knew right where he had to get it, and he got it there.
A big play for the Pittsburgh Steelers as their lead has been cut to 9, 44-35. 7 minutes and 25 seconds left to play in the game. The clock is running here in Cleveland. The wind is blowing, and over 81,000 are standing as we have had one of the most exciting games in the National Football League this season. The Browns falling way behind, then rallying back as Brian Sipe has thrown for 5 touchdowns. And now the world champions looking to hold their lead. Come out of the huddle, 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Bradshaw gives off to Franco Harris, and he's chopped after a gain of less than 2 yards. And the clock runs. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. John Brody.
That was a big 7-yard gain that Harris picked up. He's run one for 71 today, but that 7 yards was more meaningful. He's quieted this crowd down. He's given his team a little room to operate with. They want to control the clock. The only way they can do it is pick up a 1st down.
Pittsburgh Steelers with the ball. Cleveland's defense digs in. Handoff. Franco Harris. It's not there. It'll be 3rd and long yardage. He got to the 20. It'll be 3rd down and about 7. Jack Gregory came in. Number 81 and made the stop on Franco Harris.
All right, we look at the offensive line has been having the best of it all day long, both sides of the field. However, during this drive, Cleveland looks up to the task.
There's the big guys digging in. Gregory in at left end, number 81, the veteran, who started his career here at Cleveland, went to the New York Giants for 7 seasons, then came back to Cleveland. 3rd down and 7. Pittsburgh Steelers with the ball. The Cleveland Browns looking to get the football back. Bradshaw, look, out the pass, and it is caught by John Stallworth for a Steeler first down. A superb connection by the Steelers when the pressure is on.
What a superb pattern, Don. This pattern was run just as well as you can run it. He got inside the defense. When he did so, it allowed Bradshaw to have a lot of room throwing it to the outside. You notice when he did throw it, Stallworth has given him a lot of room to throw it in. A lot of sideline to work with. He picks up the first down, and it just quieted down everybody in the house.
The clock is running. 5 minutes left to play now. It's down to 4:58 and running. 44-35, Pittsburgh with the ball, and the Steelers with their all-pro quarterback Terry Bradshaw pulling the trigger gets the first down yardage on 3rd down. 1st and 10 Steelers. Bradshaw goes to Harris. They're giving him less and less. Franco Harris has over 150 yards running the ball in this game. He got 71 in that one shot up the middle on a 3rd and short yardage play when he took it into the end zone. At that point, it looked like a laugher for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 4:25 left to play. At Municipal Stadium, Cleveland, Ohio, this is Don Criqui with John Brody. We have 4:14 left to play in the game. It has been a most remarkable football game as the Steelers are holding to a 44-35 lead. The Browns, falling way behind, keep rallying back, and now they're trying to get the football back from the world champions. Brian Sipe, the Cleveland quarterback, has thrown for 5 touchdowns in this game. Best day of his career.
And Pittsburgh has been up to the task because 9-point lead and there was 9 minutes to go in the ball game. They've just run off about 5+ of those. Bradshaw has run his team from his own 6-yard line out to the 42-yard line. One fine throw, an excellent run by Franco Harris. This is a big drive. Pittsburgh keeps coming up with it.
The champions come out of the huddle. 3rd down and 6 at the 41-yard line of Pittsburgh. Steelers with the ball. 3:25 left to play. The clock is running. Bradshaw takes the drop. He takes a look, gets it away. It's complete to Benny Cunningham, one of his tight ends. And he's down to the 45-yard line of Cleveland. It's a first down Steelers.
He just hangs in there and fires it where he has to. It is a very difficult thing. Once a team thinks that they have won a football game, for a quarterback, the whole team is kind of let down all of a sudden, like Franco Harris had even come out of the ball game, okay? And it looked like everything was well in control. All of a sudden, they've got to regroup. Bradshaw did it easily.
It is a gusting, windy day here in Cleveland. Temperature in the 40s. Winds have been swirling, but the passing has been superior despite the weather. First down and 10, Pittsburgh Steelers, 44-yard line of Cleveland. Thornton, a big back who got a lot of yardage early, but has been quieted by the ground defense as of late. Drives ahead, but right now the Steelers are doing what they want to do most, and that is control the clock with this running game. 2:20 left to play. Pittsburgh holding to a 44-35 lead with 2:13 to go. That would seem to be a lot of points to be leading a football game by in this league with 2 minutes left to play. But this has not been a normal National Football League game.
It's a whole lot more points than it was 7 minutes ago, and Cleveland hadn't had the ball back since they did score and get it to within 9. And really, this is the best driver we've seen all day, and it's been fine execution by Bradshaw, 2 real fine runs by Franco Harris. It's not over, but it's looking pretty thin if you're a Cleveland fan.
Cleveland has 351 yards passing. Pittsburgh has 351 yards rushing. Everybody's getting their numbers up in this one. And this game will decide the leader in the American Football Conference Central Division. The St. Louis Cardinals upset the Houston Oilers today. New England beat Detroit 24-17. Kansas City over Cincinnati 10-7. Chicago beat Buffalo 7-0. Atlanta over Green Bay 25-7. Philadelphia beat Washington 28-17. The New York Giants upset Tampa Bay 17-14. The Steelers break the huddle. Second down and 8 coming up. 43-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. Bradshaw takes a look. Lets her go long. John Stallworth is there, and he catches the ball inside the 15-yard line for Pittsburgh.
Bradshaw never ceases to amaze me. 2 minutes to go. They've got a 9-point lead. He just comes on and says, thank you very much. Think we'll pick up 30 yards and fires the ball. Now, maybe that's why he is as good as he is. I mean, you just have to be oozing with confidence to be able to do that at this time in the ball game.
So we have a break in the action here at Cleveland Stadium. 1:53 left to play, and now the Steelers are down close once again. Calls him back. He saw something. He wants to make sure everybody's got on the same page here.
I think somebody said, hey, what's it on or something? Let's regroup.
Get that snap down. Bradshaw goes. Thornton runs, and Sidney Thornton turns upfield, and Thornton is down inside the 10-yard line. He stops the clock as he gets down inside the 5-yard line. Tom Darden finally knocked him down.
Remember, this drive started on their own 6.
That's right.
With everybody yelling. Now they're on the other team's 5, and nobody's saying a word.
You recall that third down play when Bradshaw threw the strike for the first down, and the Steelers kept it going. They take over the line of scrimmage on this drive, and now with 1:48 left to play, the clock stopped. The Steelers have the ball at the Browns' 4-yard line. Next week, the world champions go to Cincinnati. And the Cleveland Browns will be back here at home to play the Washington Redskins. 1:48 left to play. And we've got 79 points on the scoreboard. Franco Harris turns the corner. Not going to get there. Tom Darden, the free safety, grabbed him and held on. There's a penalty marker, though. Tom might have grabbed something he wasn't allowed to, the face mask.
Coach will foul face mask on against defense.
When you're trying to handle Franco Harris, you grab anything you can get. This time Franco thinks maybe he can get around the corner. He got him by the head. Pretty clearly.
I don't think there was much
Pretty clearly illegal.
So the penalty stops the clock with 1:42 left to play. Steelers will have the ball inside the 5-yard line at about the 3. The players cloaked on the sidelines in jackets, capes, as the wind swirls. It has been all game long, but now the temperature's down lower here at Cleveland. Lights have been on since the very beginning. Bradshaw sets his team with 2 tight ends. Sidney Thornton up the gut. Got down to the goal line. Did he cross it? No signal. So apparently he's going to be ruled down just short of the touchdown line.
Another good trap block. Davis, Webster.
Clay Matthews hit him head on, and Matthews a little slow getting up.
We've seen him break 3 of these at the line of scrimmage. Matthews fills the hole very well that time, but Thornton just does a great job of running and picks up 3.5.
Clock is running now. It's down to 1:08 left to go and running. For those of you who have just joined us, due to the length of today's game, we will join Disney's Wonderful World Part 2 of the $1 Million Duck right after this game. Steelers break the huddle at their leisure.
Here we go again. We see the trap block. Davis pulling. Webster doing a fine job at the point of attack. They've got the ball on the 1-yard line.
Bradshaw using all his 30 seconds that's allotted between plays. Handoff. Thornton. Touchdown. Pittsburgh. That'll do it.
Same play. Nobody was there to handle it.
50 points on the board for Pittsburgh.
94-yard drive. It took about 8.5 minutes. Is that impressive? Okay, this time, Sam Davis again. Moving those tackles out of there. Let's take another look. Webster seals off. Davis comes in. That's a big hole.
So there's a break in the action as the Cleveland Browns lead this game 51-35. We're not over yet. 36 seconds to go.
If you know...
Again, everyone, Brian Gumbel reporting from NFL 79 in New York, and reporting to you the Colts have managed the victory. What you're seeing here is Bucky Dilts. No, he is not lacking in courage. He is taking a safety intentionally to preserve a Colt lead. That made it 10-8. They punted the ball to the Jets, but they ran out the clock. Ted Marcher brought his troops for the first time in 6 tries this week, get themselves a victory. Let's go back to Cleveland, join Don Criqui and John Brody.
Back at Cleveland, Gino Hall has just run back the Pittsburgh kickoff across his 25-yard line and out to the 30. Dwayne Woodruff, a rookie, made the hit.
Although this is a very short yardage situation, we've seen Pittsburgh break it at the point of attack several times during the day, and it's the same exact play. You see Sam Davis pull out. He takes care of Robert Jackson, and the hole is just too big. Nobody's closing it down. They've broken 7 or 8 on this very same play.
I'd like to thank our spotters, John Beshko and Pete Halbin, and our statistician, Joe Costanza, as we have 31 seconds left to go at Cleveland. It is a very unlikely score, 51-35 that we read you. And an unlikely game. Up the middle, the Browns go to the run. Mike Pruitt carries, gets it across the 35-yard line, and apparently that will be the final play of the game as Cleveland lets the clock run down. 17 seconds left to go. They've not stopped it yet. And apparently they're not going to, trailing 51-35. So you see the final seconds tick away in a game that was really like a highlight reel. More spectacular plays than you'll see in half a season. And that is the ball game. The Pittsburgh Steelers extend their record to 5-1, and they take over sole possession of first place in the AFC Central Division, as today the Houston Oilers were upset by the St. Louis Cardinals. The final score 51-35 here at Cleveland.
Promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. United's building the largest airline in the world around you. Fly the friendly skies.
For John Brody, this is Don Criqui as Sam Ratigliano offers congratulations for another job well done to Terry Bradshaw. And we'll be joining now on NBC, The Wonderful World.
In my life, you have opened up the door to show me love was more. What I've known before, now I know it's true. The magic is you in my life. The magic is you in my life. In my life, I think that you could be the only one for me. Want to make me see you're a part of me. The magic is you. Walk around with my head in the clouds, afraid to say out loud just what I really feel. Oh, I know it's real. The magic is you in my life, my life. The magic is you in my life, in my life, in my life. Oh, it's you. The magic is you.
You think I'm having a good time, America? You bet I am.
I looked at Rabbit, Chevette, and Civic. But once I looked at this new Mazda GLC, That's all it took.
Just one look. That's all it took. Yeah, just one look. That's all it took.
I really like Mazda GLC's great standard features and its great mileage. I also like the looks of its nice low price, just $39.95.
Yeah, the more you look, the more you like.
Sherry Troutman wanted a roll-on that would feel dry going on and help keep her dry.
I challenged the industry.
So we came up with Dry Idea. It has almost no water, so it feels dry when it goes on.
Aside from Dry Idea being a great roll-on and going on dry and keeping you dry, it works. It worked while I was moving. I moved last week. I put it on in the morning when I got out of the shower, put it on, and worked all day. Moving is not a lot of fun.
Dry Idea roll-on.
It's dry, and it works.
Hi, I'm Pam Dauber. My family grew up with television. It's got something for everybody. News, sports, drama, fantasy, comedy. It's all there, something for every member of the family. But every show is not for everybody. So watch television, but watch it wisely. Help your children select what's best for them. Television can be informative and it can be fun. But most of all, it can be shared. So watch what happens together.
Okay, girls, let's go to the dressing room. It's time to get ready. Come on.
Try to remember the kind of September when life was gay and oh so mellow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. For it's a long, long while from May to December, and the days grow short when you reach November, and the autumn weather turns the leaves to flame, and one hasn't got time for the waiting game. And the days dwindle down to a precious few. September, November, and these few precious days I'll spend with you. These golden days I'll spend with you. Oh, the wine dwindles down to a vintage brew. September, November, and these few vintage years I'll spend with you. These vintage years I'll
This is it, girls. There are 60,000 people out there in that stadium waiting to see you. I want you to go out there and pom-pom as you have never pom-pom before. I want you to remember who you are The eyes of Texas are upon you. Girls, you are the top. La creme de la creme, and I want you to stay on top. When you step out on that field, I want you to walk tall. Put your shoulder to the grindstone and keep her stiff off her lip. Oh, I think I hurt myself. Oh, no, girls, but no, don't worry about me. Remember Betty Lou Gooper. Yes, she would have been with you tonight, but she broke her leg in the middle of the 40-yard line. And now she is in traction in a hospital. But she will be watching us tonight, girls. So I want you to go out there and do it for the Gooper. If you're watching Pat O'Brien, I apologize profusely. All right, girls. Make your coach proud. Huddle up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Different people, different pain. Some only need regular strength tablets. Some may need added strength. But some may need maximum strength. Introducing new Maximum Strength Anacin. Contains more pain reliever, more than regular strength tablets, even more than added strength. Maximum strength. 2 tablets a full 1,000 milligrams. Next time, get Maximum Strength Anacin for you who need maximum strength.
Billy, like to stay and have dinner with us?
What are you having?
Chicken.
Just chicken?
Chicken with potatoes or stovetop stuffing.
Stuffing? I'm staying.
Stovetop stuffing and chicken. It's one meal really worth staying for, because stovetop stuffing instead of potatoes tastes terrific.
You know, I'm free for dinner tomorrow night, too, Mrs. Freeling.
You don't say.
Stovetop stuffing instead of potatoes. Ask your family.
Our show tonight was dedicated to the start of what promises to be another exciting football season. And listen, next time you go to a stadium to see a football game, take a look at the staff around you. Chances are they'll be nothing like the ones you met tonight. Good night.
Down in Dallas, they should have a palace for 36 beautiful girls. Throughout the season, they're pert and pleasing.
Thursday, slavery is discovered in the 12th precinct, and Barney Miller may have to play Abe Lincoln. Then Bert and the alien Bert finally come face-to-face on Soap. Both Thursdays starting at 9, 8 Central in Mountain. Now stay tuned as the Miami Dolphins take on the Oakland Raiders on NFL Monday Night Football. Next on ABC.
Sixth-round draft pick a couple of years ago, Wilbert Montgomery, showing superstar form. He's a genuine 1,000-yard rusher. Following number 20's block, that's Leroy Harris, a former Dolphin. Montgomery's in the end zone. The Eagles out in front 7-0. In the second quarter, again, it's Ron Jaworski going to the air. And again, it's Wilbert Montgomery on the end of this touchdown pass. 14-0 Philadelphia. They go on to win it 28-17. They're locked with the Cowboys in the NFC's East with 5-1 records. At Giant Stadium, it was scheduled to be rookie quarterback Phil Simms' day as the number 1 draft pick opened a quarterback for the winless Giants against the undefeated Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But it turned out to be this young man's day. Billy Taylor, a 4th-round draft pick last year out of Texas Tech, ran for 144 yards, scored 2 touchdowns on runs like this. He gained the most yards by a Giant in 12 years. And in the previous 5 games of this season, Billy Taylor had managed only 48 yards on 12 attempts. He lugged it 34 times yesterday. That touchdown run put the Giants out in front, 7-0. Then in the second quarter, with the Giants out in front, 14-0, Tampa Bay's Doug Williams drops back and looks for Larry Mucker, number 87. Williams puts it on a line. Mucker gets the touchdown to make it 14-7. But the Giants go on to win 17-14 as they knock Tampa Bay out of the undefeated ranks. There are no undefeated teams in the NFL. Always. It's World Series time. It will open tomorrow night in Baltimore. Our ABC cameras will be there. Howard Cosell was there today earlier, and he talked with a couple of key participants in tomorrow night's action.
Well, of course, these 2 gentlemen will take the national spotlight tomorrow. The opposition pitchers in the first World Series game in the year 1979. To my left, Bruce Keeson of the Pirates. To my right, Mike Flanagan, the brilliant southpaw of the Birds. I begin with you, Bruce. You've been a remarkable September performer throughout your career. An earned run average of about 1, 23 victories, 5 or 6 defeats. What is there that happens to you in cool weather to produce that?
Well, Howard, I've been asked that many times, and I don't really have a concrete answer for that. It's just one of the intangible parts of the game that I have no logical explanation, because I certainly would apply it to April, May, June, July, and August if I knew the real reason. There are a lot of possibilities. We've been in championship games throughout the history of the Pirates as long as I've been with the club, and they're meaningful games where maybe some of the other ball clubs had been eliminated from the pennant. It's hard to explain. I've searched for it, but I'd be a liar if I came up with that real answer.
If you've had a problem, my friend, it's lodged in the middle finger of your pitching hand, the blister. How is that now?
There's no blister. There was a false statement in Pittsburgh, an inaccurate statement. I had tenderness in my finger. There was tenderness, but to say absolutely there's a blister, there was no blister. And I'd pitched 2 games in a row where I came back on 3 days rest, and I just could use the rest. After 6 innings, Chuck Tanner decided that it was a good time to go. There was some sensitivity in the finger, but now I'm ready to go healthy.
You realize what a tough cookie you've got to go again.
Well, the entire Baltimore ball club is a tough club, but of course so are the Pirates.
All right, let's turn to you, Mike. Mike, how do you account this year for the even greater success than you enjoyed a year ago?
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons. One, another year's experience, and I think another is picking up Scotty McGregor's changeup. It just seemed to set up my other pitches. I think basically I was a 2-pitch pitcher until July of this year, and then all of a sudden I came up with 4, and it just made me get through the games where I had to struggle a little easier.
You won't have the benefit of the designated hitter. You'll be losing potential home runs from either Lee May or Pat Kelly, probably Kelly, because a right-hander, Keeson, will be starting. How much will this militate against you and your club?
Well, I think it's going to make a little bit difference. It's going to be strange tomorrow night for sure to walk up to the batter's box after not going up there for 3 or 4 years. It'll be a little adjustment on our part.
It'll be a pleasure to pitch to Bruce, though, won't it?
Well, I remember I pitched against the Pirates 2 springs ago and got 1 hit in 5 innings, and he got it.
Honest? How do you feel about the problem of facing people like Singleton and Murray? He has to worry about Parker and Stargell, but he's a southpaw. You're at a disadvantage.
Well, I think they've both proven the type of ball players and hitters they are. I've faced Kenny before when he played with Montreal. Eddie Murray, I've only faced him in spring training, and of course, spring training doesn't count. It's not nearly as competitive, but they're both proven talents, and it just remains to be seen. Should be a very interesting series.
Nervous?
A little bit, possibly, but you know, as soon as the game starts, that takes care of itself.
Nervous?
A little bit too, but like Bruce said, once you get out on the mound, it's a thing we've done for a number of years now, and that's home to us. So we'll be going to get it tomorrow night.
Good luck to you both. We look for a great game, a great series. And now, back to the Giffer, the Dandaroo, and Sir Francis in Oakland.